What's up, Disrupt Nation? My name is Anthony Delgado, and today we have a dope guest, Patronn. He is, I think we could call you the king of cars in New York. Is that what we could call you?
Yeah. Soon it's gonna be all the nation. You know
all over the nation. I love that.
Yeah.
So tell us more about like your story. Like before we get into the empire that you built here in New York.
Yeah.
Your upbringing, like I know you come from humble beginnings. So let's talk about like you growing up.
I come from real humble beginnings. I come from nothing, man. So my parents, my mom left me when I was 6 years old in El Salvador, and I came here when I was 15 years old, right? Not knowing the culture, not knowing anything, the language. So we have to overcome a lot of barriers back then. I did not like it. I hated here when I first came because, who likes change, right? I had it nice and fluffy, and, I had my friends. I left pretty much everyone behind. So I had to start all over again at 15 years old. So imagine 15 years old, right? Trying to start like everything fresh, like new friends.
You don't speak the language,
nothing.
You're not used to this weather.
No, like, and I came when that, when it was that storm in '96 or whatever, around that time.
Blizzard,
the blizzard. That's when I came. The next day you had that blizzard. I was like, what? I wanted to go back so bad, man. So yeah, that's a little bit of the story where I came from. Yeah. And
then, you built this multi-million-dollar empire here in Brooklyn. And, I was mentioning to you when I pulled up, I see Maseratis, I see BMWs. I was like, am I in the right dealership?
You're in the right dealership, yeah.
So tell us how you've taken the Brooklyn Mitsubishi brand and turned it into this behemoth.
Yeah, basically, man, my vision was crazy because, there's no really real estate in Brooklyn, right? So you go on the island and you got, the acres and land, stuff like that. So my vision was, let's get the cars, right, and people will come. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Mitsubishi was just the vehicle to get us there, to get the banks, to get everything like that. But let's face it, who doesn't want to drive a BMW or Maserati nowadays? So you know what? I said, let's put the nice toys. Let's buy all the nicest toys. I love cars. My passion is cars, and I have a nice collection myself. So I said, listen, why not put the nicest car in the front to attract people to come in, right? And let's try to get them. And we are the fastest growing Mitsubishi dealership in the country right now. We're number one in the district with the 16 dealerships. And basically, we have over 1,000 cars to choose from. I didn't show you the entire operation. I just showed you 2 places. But there's other inside warehouse where we keep all the nice Ferraris and stuff like that in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so, we're talking about your growth. I mean, you're breaking the records of a lot of other dealerships that probably have other different advantages, and you're breaking those records. Yeah. What do you think has been the secret to all of that success?
I think the secret sauce was social media. I built my brand, Patronn, right? So when you Google Patronn, Brooklyn Mitsubishi comes up. Or when you Google Brooklyn Mitsubishi, my face comes up, which is my logo, right? Patronn. So people want to deal with people, and I believe that, we're in the people business, right? So people want to do business with people that they can relate to. So I wanted to be that face of Brooklyn Mitsubishi, and I built an empire, basically how to build a brand within a brand, and now I got people from all over the country that want to buy cars from me. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Well, yeah, people want to connect with people. They don't want to connect with a logo or
correct.
So they want to deal with you.
Yes.
Because they see your face, they see you on the ads. You've put yourself out there, right? You've created almost like a caricature of yourself.
Yeah.
And people want to connect with that.
Yeah, because they can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm on social media just like you guys, doing the regular, normal stuff. I'm going to get pizza. I'm going to whatever. Like, I'm going to take my kids to school. So, like, they can relate to that. You know what I mean? So they want to do business with someone they can relate to, I believe. Because I'm the same way, right? So if I want to buy something, a large ticket item, if the guy's a family guy, I'm going to relate to. If the guy has a dog, I'm going to relate to, right? If the guy's into cars, I'm definitely going to relate. Me and that guy's going to be talking a while for cars, right? So watches, whatever it is. So I think that there's a niche there, and people want to buy from people, and they like transparency. What you say online, got to be the person when they come in.
Definitely.
And I think that a lot fits here because who I am online is who I am when you see me. You know, I met you right in the city, and kind of like the same energy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, well I already know who you were. You probably didn't know who I was, but I knew who you were. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen the logo, I've seen the icon, I've seen the branding. It's like, oh, the guy with the red glasses, that's him. I know that's it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So that's branding. So, and listen, a year ago I really didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I had to do this, and I just kept pushing, and now we're here, man. This is like, it went viral, so a bunch of times. So, and you check out my YouTube channel, right? So there's a lot of content that I put out there, and they say that they did a study on my content. They say I'm like 8 to 10 years ahead of everybody else on content. If somebody would start today, it would take them like 5 years to do what I built in 1 year.
That's amazing.
Just because I'm a nut, you know. I'm
You're consistent, yeah.
I'm relentless, man. That's the word.
I love that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are probably scared to get in front of the camera. You know, like what did your family say about you wanting to be in front of the camera so much?
They hate it.
Any pushback?
They hate it. They still do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them don't like it, what I'm doing. And that's okay, guys. It says it in the Bible. Your own family will not approve it. But listen, you gotta. It's a priority. You gotta do it. You know, people just don't love themselves, and people are not willing to put themselves out there. The way I see it is, it took me a conference to go, right? That, you know what? I have to share my passion with the world. And I think all of us are responsible for that. Share your passion. Whatever it is, if you're a funny guy, if you know magic, whatever it is, you got to share it with the world. People need to see that. And you'd be surprised and amazed how many opportunities comes out of there. So what I've done is I basically disrupted the auto industry. Okay? And you know what? Some people hate me for it, some people love me for it, but I love it. I wouldn't change anything. No regrets. That's what I always say, no regrets at all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I learned along the way. Don't get me wrong. You know, I made mistakes, but now it's just a brand.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so, like, personal branding is such a huge thing nowadays. Like we were talking about, like people want to connect with faces.
Yeah.
Let's say someone's shy. Let's say someone, like, they're getting held back. They're shy. They're introverts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What advice do you have for them if they're trying to run a business and build a brand?
The thing that I can tell you is, don't get discouraged. Don't worry about if you don't get no likes. All right. At the beginning, on my Facebook Live, there's no one there. Okay. I used to be just talking to myself, and I'd be like, "Damn, that's sad. Nobody logged in." You know what I mean? Now I jump in live, and the things go crazy, right? People just start sharing, and it just goes nuts. But it takes a while, guys. It's just like going to the gym. It's just like building a muscle, right? You're not going to come out to the gym looking like this. It's going to have to take time to build it. But the hardest thing is consistency, and people get discouraged. Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the naysayers. They say, oh, what are you doing, this and that. There was a lot of people saying, you're a clown. What are you doing? Like, people be just making fun of me, and I was like, you know what, man? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I knew I had to do it, and the one thing I can tell you is don't listen to anybody but yourself. Make yourself happy first. Pay yourself, right? Make yourself happy first no matter what. If that's what makes you happy, the social media that you're doing or your content that you're doing, and it satisfies you at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares? Just keep doing it. Okay? I continue to do my social media no matter what. Consistency. Okay? You can tell by following me. You're going to know everything where I'm at any point in time and what I'm doing. Like tonight, I'm going to the city. So everybody's going to know about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I'm having dinner in the city. Mm-hmm. You know, those are the perks that I get by being a partner here, so I share it.
So, you know, when we were at the Thai event,
yes,
the other night, we were talking about this, about like haters and stuff like that.
Yep.
How do you deal with like trolls? You were mentioning it earlier.
Yeah.
Was, oh, you're this, you're that. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
They're confused. Do you respond to them, or how do you?
Yeah, I do respond to them. The one thing I can tell you is that if people don't know your name, you ain't doing shit, right? You're from Puerto Rico, and you're in my office today, right? You wanted to meet me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I tell you. So if people don't know your name, it is your job for people to know your name. If you have a product, if you have something to sell, if you have a story, you've got to be able to share it.
The funny thing is, so, I mean, you mentioned it, even if you were doing the same numbers, right? You were doing the exact same numbers, exact same dealership, exact same da-da-da. I wouldn't have been attracted to you as a brand, as a human, to even come and be like, oh, let me do this interview. I got to talk to this guy.
Right.
I have to meet him. It's because you build a brand.
Right.
And then when I saw the red glasses, I was like, oh, I know this guy.
Right.
You know?
You relate to it, yeah.
I relate to it instantly.
Yeah.
And so if it's going to do that, it's also going to do that to your customer.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh, yeah, I want to buy the car there.
I
don't care if the other place, maybe they have a better deal. I don't care.
I want to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what it is. And listen, There's always going to be people hating on you and your parade, okay? Always, no matter what. But remember, at the end of the day, you wake up in the morning, you look at your bank account, you smile, all right? They don't pay your bills, man. They don't pay your bills. So I give them hearts, you know. Haters are just people that want to be like you, man.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't either have the balls to do it, right? Or they just don't, they're scared to do it. I give them hearts. I request them. They're like, why you request me? You know, they be asking me, like, why you requesting me? I'm like, why you not blocking me? You know what I mean? Like, I gotta sell you a car. Watch me 6 months from now, you hitting me up about that car that I posted. Like, come on, man. Like, for real. Like, stop playing. Like, you know you like my content because you wouldn't have commented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just play along with it, but I don't get mad. I don't get defensive. I don't block them.
You don't take it personal.
Mind-wise, I block them out where they don't affect me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They don't affect my day-to-day operation. Nothing. That stuff is just minor matters. They don't matter to me. They're just confused because they will become a fan. You know what I'm saying? They hate us now, but they're going to become a fan. And you're building your brand, and you're building your audience, and those people are part of the plan. People don't realize that. Haters and trolls and all that comes with the exposure. So if you're going to put yourself out there, just be realistic that those people do exist, and there are some people that get a high out of that. Remember Ty was saying that? So people get a high out for that. You know what I'm saying? Hate them on other people.
They're masochists. They wanna poke at you so they could laugh and see you in pain.
Yeah, so like that doesn't bother me, man. I love them. I love the haters. So the more haters I have, you know, like I think I need new ones because the old ones, like, they like me too much already. So guys, don't listen to the haters, okay? Or the naysayers. They always, somebody that's disrupting something, somebody's doing something different than everybody else, there's always going to be people that come against it, okay? Just keep doing what you're doing. You know the mission. I know what I got going on right now with the movement is. We're trying to change the negativity stigma in the car business, right? That beat up the salesman, stuff like that. That stuff don't work for me. We're all about positive reinforcement. I went from negative to positive all the time. So now it's like I refuse to give in to negativity. That's why the haters don't get to me. Because in my mind, I already set up in the morning, like, you're not going to get to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm posting at 5 in the morning, and I'm posting at 11, 12 when I'm going home. Mm-hmm. So they see my entire day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Let's say that tomorrow you wake up, your bank account's empty, the I don't know, lightning struck all your dealerships, everything, you start from scratch, right?
Yep.
And they passed a law, and they said that El Patronn is not allowed to sell cars ever again.
Okay.
And you were starting from scratch. What the hell would you do? You just woke up, and you're starting from scratch. You're naked.
It's just going to find the next opportunity, the next big thing. Then that means there's a higher purpose. There's a higher goal for me. That means that the car thing was just too little.
Yeah.
That means that my dreams were not big enough. You know what? That car shit, maybe it's supposed to be 10 times that. Yeah. That's how I look at it. Because every dealership that I went to, I always did 10 times better. So some people look at it like, oh my God, the world's over. No. That means you woke up, you got 2 hands, you got 2 legs, and you got an opportunity to do it all over again. That's why I live my life every day, day by day, because you know what? Tomorrow's not promised, right? I can go out tonight, something can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. So I live my life to the fullest. You know, people are like scared. People don't like my flashiness, the cars that I drive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna take that money when I die. You get what I'm saying? The coffin is not gonna be there with my money. Like, I'm gonna live my life. I earned it, damn it. I put in a lot of hours. I do social media 80 hours a week, 60 hours a week, plus my 100 hours that I work here. And I'm up at 5, I'll go in at 11, and I gotta be up at 5 to go to the gym tomorrow. So, listen, fuck you. I put in my time. You know what I'm saying? I earned this money. I'm gonna spend it the way I want it. And that's why people don't like it, because you're a disruptor, meaning, yeah, some people might say flashy. I look at it as confident, right? My numbers can back it up. My numbers can speak for themselves.
Yeah. So
say all you want, but I'm still kicking your ass. Because there's 16 of you, right, that can come at me, and you still haven't been able to beat me. So I have the belt. I'm the champ. So I get bragging rights.
The differentiator is you, right? It's not the dealership. It's not the cars. It's like me. Wherever I go, I make the success.
Correct.
I could go into anywhere.
That talent, you bring it wherever you go. That's what people understand. Like, the job is the job. You understand? The building, you don't change the building. The building's still going to stay there. The business is going to operate. But people is what make the difference, right? Most people think the customers are the most important. I say it's the employees. If you take care of your employees, they're gonna fucking take care of your customers. You know what I'm saying? Pay them right, take care of them, influence them in the right way. And I tell them, if you don't want my job, then there's a problem with you. Because you want to make what I make. Mm-hmm. Right? I got all these kids coming in here, hi, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. Do you really? Do you really put in 80 hours a week? Are you ready for that? Like, is your wife okay you putting those hours? Because you all want the lifestyle which you want. Yeah. You want to drive the nice car. You want to have a driver that picks me up, right? That drives me around everywhere. But it took time to build that. And a lot of effort and a lot of work. So I always say, it's hard work, man. You work hard, you work your ass off, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You got to be persistent, though. You got to be persistent. So, you know, I do it day in, day out.
Definitely, I love that.
Yeah.
If you wanted to give advice to your younger self, if you could go back and you could just give yourself like some advice, what would you give your 18, 17-year-old self?
Why didn't I start earlier? I wouldn't be able to fucking retire by now. No joke. Like, why didn't I do this earlier? Social media was 10 years ago.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. YouTube's of the world, right? Look at these YouTubers making millions of dollars. And all they do is fucking put videos up. Yeah. It's free. It's mind-boggling. Like, people, right? They have the world here in the palm of their hands, and they call this a phone or whatever. I call it a weapon. I have 3 of them that I carry. You know what I'm saying? So, because this is money to me. Yeah. Like, I can't. It's not that I can't live without it, but that's the weapon.
Well, no, we didn't have that.
Right?
20, 30 years, you couldn't do that.
You could not do that.
You couldn't make your own TV show.
That's right.
Right? We have a course where we help people start their own podcast.
Yeah.
And I tell people, I'm like, if VH1 came to you right now and was like, we're going to start a reality show about you, you would run. You would leave everything you're doing and go do that.
Yeah.
But you have that opportunity in front of you and you're scared to do it.
Because all you got to do is press record, man. It's what are you afraid of, right? What are you afraid of? Why not tell your story? You'd be amazed the amount of opportunities that's going to come to you. The opportunities, and I'm all platforms. You know what I'm saying? I'm the number 1 automotive guy on LinkedIn right now. Because, like I told you, ambassadors, people share my stuff. Like 10, 20 people share my stuff at some point because they love my content, you know, and they're engaged very much. They know exactly what I do on a day-to-day operations because they follow me on Instagram, they follow me on all platforms, so I know at any given time what I'm doing, so they can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? My lives, they jump into my lives. Like, hey, how was that Patronn days today? You know what I'm saying? So they want to listen. So when you create that audience, right, they become your customers. They become, call them followers, whatever. I call them opportunities. Because at some point in time, that guy's going to want my guidance. He's going to want me to help him with his marketing, right? Or he might just need to get rid of his car. I got a guy calling me from California and said, yo, Patronn, I want to get rid of my car, but I want you to get it. From California, like, how many dealers? I'm like, yo, I'm willing to ship it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, this is what I'm talking about. You're willing to work out anything. Like, there's always a way. I always say to them, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. You know, people just like, the sky's falling, like the end of the world. It's not. If you want to solve problems, get a bigger problem to solve. I'm a solving problem business, right? I come in, I got issues, I got to solve them, be productive, sell cars, make money. That's what we do. But, you know, if I do it over again, man, I would say I'm surprised I didn't start earlier because I would have been much, but, you know, it's never too late, guys, remember. All right? The KFC guy started at 62, I think. He was one of the richest men alive. So, just to show you, it's never too late.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How do you think social media is disrupting businesses, like in a negative way? Like, what do you see happening, trends in the market?
I mean, listen, it's a necessary evil. If you don't have social media in your business, you're dead, pretty much. Okay, because you have an on-top market. It's unbelievable. They said 89% of people are on social media at any given time. Right? My time is 80 hours a week. The average, I don't know what it is exactly, but it's high because people are engaged. People on social media. They say that if you Google a recipe, about a 15-minute, you got a 15-second video, people will rather click the video than read the recipe. Mm-hmm. So what does that tell you? People are engaged. So, you know, picture's 1,000 words. The video is millions. So people are on their phones. People are watching videos. So social media, it's not going anywhere no time soon. You know, part of the reason why I put everything on social media It's because to me, there's no more albums, right? So I want to have memories. You know, I have 4 kids. I want to show them 20 years, 30 years. Look what I was doing 20 years ago when you were 2 years old. Mm-hmm. And to go back and show that, man.
And then they could show their kids, like, look what your grandpa was doing.
Yeah. Dad, you were doing that? Yeah, I was doing that. That was crazy. You know what I mean? I was driving those cars. Yeah, they're flying now. You know what I mean? So hopefully, right? Yeah. We're supposed to be flying now. But nah, man, social media's not going anywhere. I believe that it is the most, the easiest, right? It's free. You don't got to pay to post. And the revenue, the money that you can make on social media is just unbelievable, guys. I'm telling you, the best year I ever had in the car business. I've been in the car business 15 years, and I had that 1 year that my shit just went through the roof. And when I tell you dollars-wise, it's just, I never made that kind of money in the car business. And I owe it more to social media than anything because, I put myself out there. I went public, and, I started just creating content. I almost do 90 videos a week now. So I just push a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, that's why people can't catch up,
So it's like almost like the same thing that Gary Vee did with wine, you did with cars.
Yes. I want to become the Carvanas of the world. I want to become, this guy can sell me anything, right? So go to El Patronn if you want to buy a Ferrari, if you want to buy a freaking Bentley. I don't care where you're at in the country. I'll ship it to you. That's what I want the experience to be. And when they come here or they fly here, they're going to be the red, the white glove treatment, right? Consistency. This is what it is. Bam, bam, bam. I'll ship you the car. And I'm doing it now. We deliver a car from Cali on Friday. We got another guy coming from 6 hours away. Let's choose to pick up his X6M. I buy clean cars. I take care of the customer. We've been here 20 years, and we do the right thing by them. And I think that gravitates in. They see that. We're the only Mitsubishi dealership that have 1,300 reviews on Google. So therefore, my organic is pretty up there. 1,300 reviews is a lot of reviews for a Mitsubishi dealership. Some Honda, Toyota dealerships, like Mercedes dealerships don't even have that. So that tells you a lot about what we're doing, the movement that we're doing. It's working.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's the craziest story that you have from a customer, like a request or a problem or something?
Usually they want to switch the car because it changed the color. Not like buying a shirt. You can't just return it. No, I wanted blue. I end up taking the silver. We usually work it out with them. What I'm saying? Yeah. We usually work it out. But it's nothing crazy over here in Brooklyn. Everybody, we got blue collars, so nice income people, and they just come in and they want to get a car to get around. In New York, you kind of need a car. What I'm saying? Yeah. Even though public transportation, but it's not the same. Uber is very expensive. It gets expensive after a while, so they rather just get a car.
And there's something nice about having a vehicle. It's almost like your spaceship, right? You have your stuff inside, like
your personality, right? The car tells you who you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You show me you driving into this car, I'm like, okay, kind of tells you a lot about the person, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I see it that way.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like when I come to town, I still have my vehicle here because I want to be in my spaceship. I want to have my stuff. I got I feel like I'm in my spaceship. Right? I don't want to be just in an Uber.
Right.
Now it depends. Maybe I'm on vacation. Okay.
Different story.
But if I'm gonna be somewhere for more than a week, I want to have a car. I want to have a vehicle.
Yeah.
I want to forget going to a specific place. That's what Uber does well. But I just want to drive. I want to get lost.
Yeah.
I want to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
You can't really go on an adventure with Uber.
100%. 100%.
All right. So I know we're running on time. I do have one last question. So in Spanish, disrupt means to interrupt. Not the same word if you try to translate it, right? And in the start of the entrepreneurial culture, disrupt has a very unique meaning. So for you, when you hear disrupt, what does disrupt mean to you?
Disrupt means go against the crowd. Be a game changer. Be different than everybody else. Those people that are doing things differently are ahead of the game. The Steve Jobs of the world, the Warren Buffett of the world, those guys. I read a lot of books, I watch a lot of videos, motivational stuff all the time, and just be different, man. Just be different. Most people just want to be like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want people to follow me. I don't want to follow them. You know what I'm saying? Like I follow them back on Instagram, but because they become my customers. But when it comes to business, when it comes to I have a vision and to disrupt the market.
So, what are some of the results that you see people getting from the Game Changer Conference?
The results basically is amazing, man. People came out of there like vibrant with so much energy, and they were just like, a couple weeks later, they're like, "Listen, you changed my life." I started doing videos myself, and I started getting a little rhythm going, and people were calling me, encouraging. I would encourage them because that was part of the issue that I got. There was no support system. When you try that, when you try content and stuff like that, there's nobody calling to tell you, "Oh, you did a good job, you did a shitty job." Like, nobody tells you that. So now I take it upon myself to comment to them. Listen, don't do this, or your arms are this way. It means negative. Like, okay, because you don't realize it, right?
Yeah.
You can't see it from inside. So I call them up and I'm like, listen, you're doing this and that. So they change it a little bit. And I said, just stick to your story, and boom. They get that one that goes haywire, and they're like, all right, it's working. You know what I'm saying? They get opportunities and things like that. So that's the reason why I did it. We're going to do it a lot bigger. We're going to take the automotive part out of it because there's a lot of game changers out there. It's just they got to take that leap of faith. Once you do that, like I do $1 million deals now, like nothing. Before, like, it was crazy, right? Take that leap of faith. You left to go to Puerto Rico. Like, that's crazy, right? And now you're doing crazy things like you would never thought. Like, you just do it on a snap of a finger. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Same thing here.
Well, and it looked impossible until I did it.
I know.
It's like, oh, how am I going to...
You'll figure it out, bro.
I'll figure it out.
The law of attraction, okay? Right. One little nugget I can give you guys. Watch The Secret on Netflix, okay? Or buy the book. This is one of the best books that was given to me. It's about the law of attraction. It's real. I believe it, okay? I keep putting it. I wrote a $10 million check this year for myself. Okay, and it's my vision board. I see it every morning. You know what I'm saying? So some way, somehow, the universe is gonna give it to me, and that's really what my goal is. It's not about money, but it just tells you like the positivity stuff. Like if you're negative, you're gonna attract negative.
Well, they say the money is how you keep track, how you're gonna keep score, right? So it's like the money's not important, but how are you gonna keep score? How are you gonna show that you're getting the results?
Chase the opportunities. I always say that. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the money. I used to chase all the money all the time, and I used to be broke. You know what I'm saying? I stopped doing it. I have financial freedom. I can do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want for my guys and for my people. And that's what I tell my story.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling your story.
Oh, thank you for coming.
If people want to connect with you, like on social media, they want to learn more about what you're doing, where's the best places for them to find you?
I would say Instagram. I'm very. That's my favorite. Okay, so I'm there 24/7, and also LinkedIn as well. There's a lot of content that I put on LinkedIn. A lot. It's business, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing personal as well. Definitely. And I also have my own website, patronshow.com.
Definitely, absolutely. Yeah. Check them out. We're gonna leave the links in the show notes.
Absolutely.
And we gotta get you out to Puerto Rico too. Have you come to one of the masterminds?
I'm down.
It's crazy what you were talking about before. Our last conference was called Disrupt Yourself, because you got to disrupt who you are so you can get to that next level.
Yes.
And become a game changer, right?
Yeah.
So man, I would really love to have you come down, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights, man.
Of course, anytime. All right.